My name is Marcia Harrington, and I'm the manager of the Adult Literacy Resource Center at the DC Public Library. The District of Columbia, like a lot of urban areas, cities, has a significant adult literacy problem. It's estimated that about 19 to 20% of the adults in the city have below basic level literacy skills. Those are individuals who have challenges when it comes to dealing with the health system, with social service and public agencies where literacy skills are required. We also see people who come to the library and we talk with them face to face. If they say, I really want to find a GED program, or I need to find a basic literacy program, or I can't read, can you help me? One day several years ago, a woman, I think she was probably in her 40s, came in to take a GED practice test. And at the end of the test, she was sitting out in the reading room waiting for her results. And when I came out to talk with her, there were just tears streaming down her face. And I said, would you mind telling me why you're crying? Is there something wrong? And she said, I'm so ashamed. She said, I'm so ashamed. Here I am, 40-something, and I know I didn't pass this test.
You come to her with any problem, or you need some help to get the ball rolling. If something's going on in the community, she's there.
So I thought, what if we do a pilot project, try out a book discussion for adult learners.
The people who participate are regular folks. They are, they are not in any way treated differently from anyone else, whether it's a high school education or a college graduate. And I think that in itself, the respect that's shown really rubs off. It's really a matter of, we're just going to make something better here. If you want to, we're here. We're going to make something better, and we're going to make it more fun.
One of the adults who helped me organize this project, an adult learner herself, named the program A Feel for Books. And she named it that because she said, when I come home at night, I don't want to just turn on the TV. I want to read a book. She said, I want to feel that book and know that I'm reading a book. So she said, why don't we name the program A Feel for Books? That was the beginning of this book discussion, which has now run for 25 years.
The DC Public Schools the program, there was clearly a need for others to fill that important job. And at the time, Marcia was part of forming what is called DC Learns, which still exists and is a very active and terrific organization.
The city obviously got to the point where it was in much better financial condition after that period of bankruptcy and control board. And the coalition went on to then work on other issues, such as advocacy, forming a Literacy AmeriCorps project for adult literacy providers. So when I came, I wrote a grant to the Department of Education at the time for a library literacy grant, and it got funded to start a regional literacy helpline. It would also be the establishment of a directory of all the adult literacy programs that we could find in the metropolitan area. We've had this dedicated line since the early 1990s. And in any given year, we field thousands and thousands of calls from people.
She has devoted a huge part of her professional life to adult literacy, and has done it, I feel, in a very selfless way.
She is someone who's very well respected, not only by the people within the organizations, but also by adult learners, which I think is something that immediately struck me. Other people see her as kind of the embodiment of adult literacy. She is kind of the godmother, the gatekeeper, the guardian of adult literacy in the city.
She's a staff motivator. There's something about the team. It's not just a phrase here. I've seen that in action.
And I went out to the reading room, and this woman was standing there, and she said, do you remember me? I said, of course I remember you. And she said, I want you to know, I passed my math test. And now, I'm in a training program to become a medical billing assistant. And I said, well, that's great. I'm really happy for you. And she said, but I want you to know that I never would have passed that test if you had not helped me.
We're all going to benefit. We're all going to benefit if we support one another, if we collaborate, if we talk with one another, if we share our problems, our needs, where we need training. And it doesn't just benefit the program, it benefits the students in particular who come to these programs, because those are the individuals whom we're really here to help. Those are the ones that we want a better future for.
Thank you. I want to express my gratitude to Mr. Capert and the Capert Foundation and the Center for Excellence in Public Leadership for this award. And I'm grateful that they continue to recognize the very fine and persistent work of district public employees. And some of the finest of these employees are here tonight. So. I also want to thank the Capert's Foundation for its very long-term and steadfast support of educational programs in the city, including adult literacy. Many years ago, I found out that this city had thousands of adults and young adults with basic literacy needs, people without high school diplomas. And I was just stunned. I thought, how can this be? Today, I'm no longer surprised by the large numbers of adults and young adults who, in order to meet their individual goals as citizens and as workers and as family members, need to improve their literacy skills significantly. And in many cases, they need to get high school credential and additional training. The good news is that the DC Public Library has materials and services and programs and partnerships that have helped thousands of adults over the past years connect with classes and tutors and resources, and has helped them take significant steps toward obtaining a high school credential. None of us does this work in isolation. This award doesn't just recognize me. It also is a tribute to the very committed and gifted staff members of the Adult Literacy Resource Center, past and present, who have been there. And presently, those individuals that I want to thank are Tony White Richardson, Elaine Randall, Stefan Gray, Maxine May, and Ben Marion. I could not do this work without them. I've learned a lot by working with people with literacy skills and learning challenges over the years. And the great reward is in seeing many of them, despite great obstacles, move ahead and actually improve their skills, get high school credentials. And I also want to acknowledge the persistence and dedication of those individuals in literacy programs that teach and mentor and support these learners, sometimes over many, many years. It's been a real privilege to work for the DC Public Library, and the library gave me a gift years ago of a job and told me, develop our adult literacy services. And I have benefited, especially from the support of 3 previous library administrators who recognize that the public library has an absolutely critical role to play in improving adult literacy in the city. And those individuals were Molly Raphael, Patricia Pasquale, and Nancy Davenport. So I am deeply grateful for the DC Public Library because I think the public library is one of the jewels in this city's crown. And the public library is really there to serve the public, and we serve all kinds of individuals with multiple needs. And some of them, like the people that I and my staff work with, are some of the most vulnerable people in the city. So I'm grateful to my coworkers, to the people at the library who continue to serve many individuals and support the work that we continue to do. And I just want to say how grateful I am that there is a really long, persistent, steady commitment by the public library to adult literacy and learning. So congratulations to my fellow nominees and awardees. And I hope that as a city we will continue to keep learning and supporting one another and helping to give many people in the city a second, a third, and a fourth chance.